Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome back to TCM as we continue the first night in a two-part spotlight on actors who are also genuine Hollywood humanitarians. We began with Elizabeth Taylor, who became a vital advocate for HIV and AIDS research at the height of the AIDS crisis in the 1980s. Our next Hollywood star is often mentioned in the same breath as Elizabeth Taylor, Debbie Reynolds. The two actresses shared a husband, singer Eddie Fisher, Debbie's first husband, Elizabeth's fourth. But significantly, they also shared a profound commitment to vitally important causes. Like Taylor, Reynolds was a fierce advocate for the LGBTQ community, and she made frequent appearances at AIDS-related fundraisers in the early 80s. Nearly 30 years earlier, in the mid-1950s, Reynolds became one of the founding members of the Thalians, an organization dedicated to raising awareness of mental health issues. In 1957, she became president of the organization, a role she held almost continuously until 2011. During her long tenure, the Thalians raised millions to support the mental health center at Cedars-Sinai Hospital, as well as UCLA's Operation Mend, which assists military veterans both physically and psychologically. Up next, we have a movie Debbie Reynolds made just a few years before she became involved with the Thalians and a year before she became involved with Eddie Fisher. From MGM in 1953, The Affairs of Dobie Gillis. Set at a fictional Midwestern college, the story follows three lovesick students played by Bobby Van, Barbara Ruick, and Bob Fosse, plus one more, Debbie Reynolds, who actually came to college to, learn and tries her best to stay focused until she decides to fall in love, too. For Debbie Reynolds, The Affairs of Dobie Gillis came on the heels of her breakout hit, Singin' in the Rain. She even reprises one of her songs from Singin' in the Rain, All I Do Is Dream of You. For her co-star Bob Fosse, this marked his film debut. Fosse was still a few years away from becoming one of the most innovative and influential choreographers of the 20th century. Here they are, together at the beginning of their great careers, from director Don Weiss in 1953, The Affairs of Dobie Gillis. Following the success of Singin' in the Rain in 1952, MGM continued to cast Debbie Reynolds in a string of light musical comedies, including The Affairs of Dobie Gillis, always playing perky girl-next-door types. A decade later, Reynolds fought for and won the chance to play a much more interesting and dynamic character in another movie musical for MGM, The Unsinkable Molly Brown from 1964. Her performance there earned Debbie the only Oscar nomination of her career. Finally, in 2015, just 1 year before her death, the Academy recognized Reynolds with an honorary Oscar, the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award, given for her outstanding contributions to humanitarian causes. Coming up, the most recent recipient of the Jean Hersholt Award, Dolly Parton. She stars opposite Burt Reynolds in a musical comedy from 1982, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. It's next on TCM.
Next on TCM, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, then The Feminine Touch, and later, Green Mansions. It's not easy being TCM tonight.